To tell a story from every side takes structure, it takes community involvement, and it takes reliable sources. On WBTV News at 11, we tell the story how it should be from every side because we're on yours.
This broadcast is sponsored by DeMayo Law Offices, representing Carolinians since 1992. WBTV News starts right now with breaking news.
They started shooting, and then they stopped, and then they started back again.
Those gunshots put a 9-year-old and 2 others in the hospital tonight. Now Charlotte-Mecklenburg police are looking for the shooter.
And following more breaking news, the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office is looking for this registered sex offender accused of sexually assaulting a woman working inside the courthouse. Everything we know about him tonight.
But first, more breaking news happening in just the last hour. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools announcing new steps to ensure its schools follow state athletic eligibility rules. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jamie Bowl.
And I'm Maureen O'Boyle. Good to have you here at 6 o'clock. Today's announcement comes after 2 high school football teams have had to forfeit their seasons because ineligible students played on the teams. WBTV was first to tell you about the issue with Myers Park High School football team. And then last month, the football team at West Charlotte High School also had to forfeit their season. WBTV's education reporter Courtney Cole joins us now with details on this breaking story. Courtney?
Maureen, Jamie, today's plan was announced by the CMS athletic director and made specific reference to, quote, recent events surrounding athletic eligibility. This plan includes 3 primary action items. 1, developing a district-wide coaches symposium. 2, conducting a comprehensive program evaluation. And 3, creating district-wide trainings for top CMS and school leaders and registrars to learn about the eligibility rules. A WBTV investigation earlier this year found multiple students playing on the Myers Park High School football team this past season were registered in the CMS student portal as living together at the same house, which state school administrators have said should have raised red flags. Today's announcement also says the district will develop a parent symposium. Back to you.
All right, our Courtney Cole with the breaking news tonight from CMS. Thank you. Now to primary election night in North Carolina. WBTV on your side, breaking down the big local and federal elections playing out right now.
You certainly have been seeing and hearing from the candidates for months now. Tonight is your chance to make a choice. Polls close at 7:30 on this Tuesday, so we should be getting the results from early voting soon after that.
And now to live team coverage with Chief Investigative Reporter Nick Ochsner and Investigative Reporter David Hodges. David, let's start with you. We're seeing some familiar names on the ballot for City Council. This should be intriguing.
Yeah, Jamie, it's one of the races that I'm watching most closely. In the primary for at-large city council, you have 6 Democrats running, and all of them have either served or are currently incumbents, so their names are familiar to many different voters. And I've talked with a lot of people about which way it's going to go, and everyone has a different guess. So we're going to be watching that closely. Also, some major races in the primary in Mecklenburg County for the district attorney as well as the sheriff. Elections and races of importance all the way from statewide, locally to the national level that we'll be keeping a close eye on. I actually spoke with Mecklenburg County Board of Elections Director Michael Dickerson just a moment ago, and we talked a little bit about what this voter turnout is so far. And he said that in comparison to 2018, early voting has doubled in terms of the turnout from about 21,000 in 2018 to about 42,000 this year. What will be really interesting to see is the turnout on election day right here today. If that's a big number, it will mean a pretty nice turnout as far as he is concerned. But then you have what's driving voters to the polls. And I spoke with one gentleman, Jason McMaster Foreman, who just became a citizen of this country about 4 years ago, about the reasons that he is motivated to vote. He said he's really looking for change. Take a listen to his impassioned plea about why people need to go out and vote.
We're coming for you. We're going to hold you responsible. We're going to hold you to your word. We're going to hold you to your votes. And it's time for change. And we, the younger generations, are tired of this stagnating pool of nothing, where we talk a big game and we get elected and then nothing, absolutely nothing happens to help the people that really need it.
So what's really interesting to me about his take is if there are enough people who feel like him, what does that mean for incumbents or people who have served before? Are voters really looking for a seismic change or more of what they've had? Only one way we'll find out, and that's when the results start coming in around 7:30. That's when we'll start finding out about the early voting as well as the absentee ballots. And then after that, trickling in all the votes that are counted today. Guys?
Lots of races, lots of things of importance that we will be watching here tonight. David, thank you. We'll be checking with you later at 7:30 during On Your Side tonight. Now, we're also following some big federal races at that level as well tonight, including tense primary contest for an open U.S. Senate seat and a challenge to Congressman Madison Cawthorn.
WBTV's chief investigative reporter Nick Oxner continues our team coverage at 6, tracking these big races as the night unfolds. Nick is here now with a preview. Nick?
Yeah, Maureen, Jamie, both of these races have made for a lot of intra-party fighting for Republicans in the U.S. Senate contest. Former Governor Pat McCrory is vying to replace retiring Senator Richard Burr against a pair of candidates who've made their mark in the U.S. House of Representatives. Congressman Ted Budd is the front-runner in the race. He's gotten the backing of former President Donald Trump and a big outside conservative group called the Club for Growth. Former Congressman Mark Walker is also vying for the seat. And in the mountains, we'll be watching whether current Congressman Madison Cawthorn can hold off a challenge from sitting state Senator Chuck Edwards and a half dozen other candidates. Cawthorn needs to get 30% of the vote plus one to avoid a runoff. Now, we'll expect to see those early voting totals come in, like David said and Jamie said, at 7:30. But if you look to some of the North Carolina political scientists, they've cautioned the early vote doesn't always indicate what's going to happen for the rest of the night. We'll be keeping you advised all evening.
Really important point there, Nick. Thank you. And again, if you haven't voted already and you plan to do so, you have until 7:30 tonight, so about 90 minutes left. Anyone in line at that time, keep in mind, will be allowed to vote. And we'll be bringing you live results as they come in, as Nick was alluding to there. Start getting some results maybe shortly after 7:30. So head over to WBTV.com/results for the latest numbers. Maureen?
Now updating you on some troubling breaking news at 6 o'clock. Take a good look at your screen. The Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office is looking for this registered sex offender accused of assaulting a woman today in the Mecklenburg County Courthouse. The sheriff's office said the woman was hit in the head, but in an email from the district court chief judge obtained by WBTV, we also learned the suspect took off some of his clothes before attacking the woman. Here is what we know so far about how all of this unfolded. Deputies were called shortly after noon today. A woman said a man had knocked on her office door. She opened it. She recognized him. Once inside the room, he assaulted her, hitting her in the head. We now know the suspect is 24-year-old Devontae Johnson. Johnson ran out of that woman's office. The victim suffered bruising and swelling to her face and was treated on site by medic. In that email from the judge, she says she asked the sheriff's office to look at security gaps and take steps to better protect workers. If you know where Devontae Johnson is or where he might be, call Crime Stoppers. The number is 704-334-1600. Jamie?
And we're following more breaking news tonight, Maureen. 3 people in the hospital, including a 9-year-old, after a shooting in South Charlotte. Happened around noon at the Granite Point Apartments near East Arrowwood and Nations Ford Road. Right now, one of the adults hit is dealing with life-threatening injuries. That shooter not in custody tonight. This is not the first time CMPD has responded to a shooting at this apartment complex. Just over a week ago, on Mother's Day, a man was shot and killed. WBTV spoke to neighbors about what they are seeing unfold in their neighborhood.
You got these young people out here with these guns. I don't know where they're getting them from on the street. It's just crazy out here. You know, it's just crazy. You don't know if you can walk out your door and walk to your car or walk to the mailbox or go to the playground with your kids or grandkids. It's not safe in this community.
Remember, a 9-year-old hit today. Police are asking if you know anything about the shooting. You call Crime Stoppers again. There's that number, 704-334-1600. Maureen?
Switching gears now to your certified most accurate forecast. It is warming up. We're talking about record-challenging heat wave this week that could mean 90-degree weather. I'm here with meteorologist Rachel Coulter in the First Alert Weather Center. Rachel, you've been timing out how hot it's going to be. What will it feel like tomorrow compared to today? Because today was really quite nice.
Yeah, it was, and you know, we had the low dew points as well, so when you step outside, it's pretty comfortable.
Sure.
And if you were out earlier this morning, probably felt the nicest of the day. We had temperatures in the 50s, not too bad. We have recovered to the 80s, but still, we're not too far from where we should be this time of year. We've got the comfortable dew points as well. So low to mid 80s right now, 70s for our mountain communities. Let's look at tomorrow. Forecasting a high temperature of 90 degrees, at least for our central and southeastern counties, upper 80s for our foothill communities, close to 80 degrees if you're tuning in from Ashe, Watauga, Avery counties. We're going to be pretty warm across the entire area. So we're already going to see temperatures trend about 5 to 10 degrees warmer tomorrow, but we're also going to see the dew points pick up as well. So enjoy these comfortable conditions while they last. Dew points in the 40s, that's good news. We want that. That's going to allow for a really comfortable evening, especially after sunset. If you were out and about last night, it's going to feel pretty comparable to that. We'll see temperatures drop back into the 70s. It's going to feel pretty nice out there. If you have late evening plans, we'll dip back into those upper 60s around 11 o'clock tonight. That'll put us in the mid 60s around midnight. Eventually, very briefly, we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 50s tomorrow morning. We're forecasting that low temperature of 56 degrees in Charlotte, 50 degrees for Boone, 55 in our foothill communities, and around those mid to upper 50s for our southeastern counties as well. But tomorrow, hitting 90 degrees, likely for the first time of the year so far. Not even the hottest day of our 7-day forecast. In fact, by the end of the week, we're talking about the hottest conditions of 2022. It's going to be steamy as well. That heat and humidity going to play a big factor in the forecast, and that's something that meteorologist Jason Myers will be talking about in more detail here in just a few minutes. But here's the good news. We have relief on the way, but that cold front's also going to allow for an unsettled weekend. First alert is in place on your Sunday. We'll time out the storm chances, talk about your 7-day forecast coming up.
Rachel, thank you. Right now, Charlotte-Mecklenburg police need your help finding the driver involved in a deadly hit and run in East Charlotte over the weekend. This happened on Eastway Drive very early Sunday morning. The person hit and killed was pronounced dead there at the scene. Investigators say a BMW SUV like this one took off right after the crash. It was last seen turning left onto the plaza. They believe it may be missing the front passenger side grille. If you think you saw something, you're asked to give police a call.
WBTV has reached out to police for more information about a car that crashed into a building in North Charlotte this morning. Our cameras were there around 8 o'clock on Rocky Ford Club Road. We do know 2 people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. We'll be sure to update you once we learn how this crash happened. Next here at 6 o'clock, we are also investigating a Charlotte investigation, a death investigation, I should say, in Charlotte's South End. That's being ruled an accident. WBTV brought you this scene as breaking news last night on Brook Hill Road near Remount and South Tryon. Now police say the victim had cocaine in their system. This same street is where a woman was found dead after a medical emergency last September. Now next at 6 o'clock, we are weeks away from CMS seniors walking across the stage at graduation. One tells us he is thankful for the program that helps him have a job lined up.
Closed captioning on WBTV News is sponsored by Subaru South Boulevard and Subaru Concord.
TV investigates. We're on your side.
The race is on to sell 500 vehicles. Shop now at ToyotaOfNorthCharlotte.com.
Hello, I'm Franklin Graham in Ukraine. Samaritan's Purse is on the ground. We're delivering tons of food, hygiene kits, and much needed clothing.
We're bringing blankets and goods and food, so we're sending these minibus full of goods.
We're providing medical need to thousands of people that have been displaced. I think the need will be here for some time. It may shift, it may change a little bit, and we'll just shift and change as we need to change. So we need your prayers, and thank you so very much. God bless you.
Having your relaxing Saturday interrupted by a parade of strangers touring your home is overwhelming. Skip the stress and receive the strongest cash offer in your home with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer and start packing.
All right, class. Window Nation replaced over 250,000 windows last year, and 90.
I thought we were going to the.
Oh, there it is. Now it goes on.
Well, you know what? It's because it's kind of tilting down. We had this happen before. It's this.
I don't know. It was. I swear it wasn't on because I was looking back and forth trying to figure out how to find a light. Or it was funny when you took it. It like came up real slow.
It falls down. I mean, during a prime time once, it was.
Yeah, I know.
It was down like the whole time.
I just missed that script. I had scrolled ahead and then.
Planks, conks, and never want to hear coming from your vents.
And in our experience, little sounds never get smaller.
So if your vents are calling out for help,
Our dependable crew will show up on time and fix it right, or you
don't pay.
1 hour heating and air.
Depend-a-worthy every day.
They were victims of violent crimes like murder and molestation. And Chief Justice Sherry Beasley failed to protect them. The murderer who shot a boy in the face, Beasley vacated his death sentence. The man convicted of sexually assaulting a 7-year-old girl. She threw out the indictment. And that's just the beginning. We can't trust Sherry Beasley to protect our families. NRSC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Call Drypro because with wet, moldy crawl spaces, time is not on your side.
It is an important season for our seniors. They're about to graduate from high school, and some CMS grads have a head start on their careers because of a specialized apprentice program. It gives students several years of hands-on experience in the career they're striving for while they're still in school. One graduating senior says he owes it all to CMS for keeping him on the path toward his goal to be a mechanic and one day own an auto shop.
How about that for goals, right? Tonight we're giving you a glimpse of his work outside the classroom. Our education reporter Courtney Cole shares how this job, along with CMS and Central Piedmont Community College, are helping him reach for the stars.
It's never too early to start.
When he's not in class at Philip O'Berry High School, you'll find graduating senior Omar Cruz doing what he loves most, working on cars. He's 17 now, but his passion for mechanics started at the age of 12 and catapulted him into this part-time job at Mecklenburg Automotive and Collision Center. He's been working here for almost 6 months.
When I was a kid, my dad would just do regular basic maintenance at my house. I would just help him every now and then.
Cruz is most inspired by his parents who immigrated from Oaxaca, Mexico.
So they sacrificed everything they had to give me and my siblings a better life.
A better life he doesn't take lightly.
They gave us this opportunity and I wanted to show them that it's not an opportunity wasted.
When he's not under the hood of a car here, he's taking classes at Central Piedmont Community College where he's gotten 2 certificates and a license. And working part-time at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Fresh new oil.
A balancing act that he says will only propel him forward.
Time management's big for me.
Graduation is less than 30 days away. The countdown is on for his next chapter. Through CMS's apprenticeship program, he gained a partial scholarship to Central Piedmont.
I want to continue with the mechanic route and be known as what is an ASE certified technician, which is the top of the chain in the mechanic, and hopefully one day own my own business.
No matter the task, Cruz is dedicated and is encouraging other students to pursue trade careers.
If you're interested in mechanics or trade, any trade work, there's always going to be a job for you. All done.
Complete.
The age of 17 actually surprises me, knowing that anybody is capable of doing what they want. They just got to work hard for it.
Courtney Cole, WBTV, on your side.
I adore him. I've met him before, and if he's not at school, he's at work, and if he's not at work, he's at school. Can you imagine how proud his parents must be of him? He's an awesome kid.
Hard working, absolutely. Omar, by the way, is going to be attending Central Piedmont Community College on a partial scholarship. His entire first semester is paid off, as Maureen was alluding to. He's been working a lot, and I must be saving some money along the way, too.
Congratulations to all of our graduates. It's so close.
Yeah, it is indeed. Great story. Let's talk about the weather. Live look now. The beautiful weather today from the mountains to the Piedmont. On the left of your screen, got up to the 70s today in Boone, closer to Charlotte, about 10 degrees warmer. And it's only going to get warmer from here. We could even be making a run at a record high on Friday.
Our meteorologists Jason Myers and Rachel Coulter are here, and we're going to start with you, Jason. Let's ask about those high temperatures. Are we talking about high humidity as well? Because today it was so nice and it was dry but warm.
If you were out and about, but we have that drier feel to the air. Today's high temperature 84 degrees, and yes, it felt hot enough. We're going to be at 95 on Friday. Jamie was talking about it. Our hottest day is Friday. We are expecting temperatures to be in the mid-90s, and if we reach 95 degrees, that would tie the record high set back in the early 1960s. We haven't seen temperatures in the 90s since about mid-September, so it's been quite some time, and we expect these temperatures to continue to climb through the week. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, afternoons in the 90s. The heat index, the feel-like temperature, that will approach more of the upper 90s. So that's dangerous heat. So if you work outside, exercising outside, use a lot of extra caution. Think about people and pets, especially with these hot temperatures. When will the heat wave end? Well, we do have some cooler temperatures as we go into the early part of next week. And taking a more in-depth look at our forecast, meteorologist Rachel Coulter, you've got those temperatures and the rain outlook as well. Rachel?
Yeah, that's right. We're going to see a big change up, especially by the time we get to the second half of the weekend and into the start of next week. And it's all thanks to a cold front that's going to allow for the relief that is on the way, but it's also going to bring some unsettled weather with it. So I'm going to be timing out some of those storm chances here in a moment. The good news is we just don't have to worry about that right now. It's really pretty outside. And of course, Maureen mentioned it is comfortable as well. The moment you step outside, it's not steamy. There's the view of all the sunshine we're seeing out from Concord at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Looking pretty good out that way. And we're also seeing those nice conditions in the Charlotte Metro as well. It's 82 degrees in Charlotte. That's the case in Concord. You're looking at 82 degrees in Albemarle, 81 degrees in Monroe, 82 in Lenore and Morganton, 70 degrees for those of you tuning in from Watauga County. If you're in the 80s right now, that'll be pretty short-lived, especially after sunset. Temperatures will fall back through the 70s, but a very comfortable and dry night ahead of us. We'll be in the 60s as we head into the overnight period and eventually making it into the 50s very temporarily tomorrow morning before we rebound quickly. High pressure's in control right now. You can see the sunshine across the Carolinas. Really nice setup for us, at least through most of your Wednesday. I'll show you the latest run of some of this data that we look at. Here's your future cast. So notice tomorrow evening, especially late Wednesday and into Thursday morning, if you live along and north of I-40, you're going to have the best chance at seeing some of the rain. But some data is indicating maybe late tomorrow night we get a little bit of that to push farther south. Most of that would be, though, as we head off to bed into the overnight hours, and it would be few and far between. By the time we wake up on Thursday morning, again, best chance for rain would be in our northwestern counties, but there is the opportunity for at least isolated to widely scattered showers and storms to redevelop on Thursday. We're going to have a warm front lifting through the region, and any of those storms that do form could be on the stronger side. So we have that 30% chance of showers and storms in your forecast on Thursday. 90 degrees tomorrow, 93-degree temperatures on Thursday. So we'll be close to record high temperatures, but not quite yet. There's where we could tie that record high temperature Jason was talking about on Friday. Highs in the mid-90s, and he mentioned it. It's going to be muggy on Friday as well, so it's not going to feel as comfortable outside as it does right now, and that's going to factor in. That's going to play a role. It could feel a little bit closer to the upper 90s by the time we're wrapping up the week. Talking about your 5-day forecast here in terms of your rain chances, and pretend that first alert is on Sunday. We've got that really good chance for showers and storms, especially for the second half of the day. So I want to talk about your weekend rain coverage because we have the potential for a few showers and storms on Thursday. We also do on Saturday as well. It doesn't look like a washout. Remember this weekend where you could see a few of those scattered showers and storms and then you'd be fine, just warm and hot. That's what we're going to see on Saturday, but Sunday the cold front moves through and that coverage is going to be more impressive. So that's why we have the first alert in place, because the impacts will be higher if you have any of those weekend plans. And you can see the temperature difference as well. We're looking at the low 90s on Saturday, but the upper 80s by Sunday. So when you put this all together, there's your first alert forecast. Sunday's that first alert. Heading into Monday, we may still be dealing with the impacts of that front. So we're going to be cooler, temperatures in the 70s. The dew points will be lower, but we'll still be a little unsettled. Could have some lingering showers as we start off next week.
We've got a packed broadcast for you tonight. President Biden condemns the evil of white supremacy while mourning the victims from the supermarket mass shooting. And the new information tonight about the alleged shooter's plan to attack an elementary school. We've got that and all the other day's headlines here on the CBS Evening News.
start packing.
Who has the best price and best selections on Buicks and GMCs? The king of price, Randy Marion. You'll always get the best price and best selection because that's what we do. See all of our inventory at randymarionGMC.net. I-77 exit 23 in Huntersville.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct. I let in the sun rays. More of the heat stays. Universal Windows Direct.
Right now, buy one window, get the next one free, plus no interest and no payments for 24 months.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey folks, there's 5,000 reasons to take the short drive to Hickory. It's our $5,000 test drive where you can win $5,000 by simply test driving a car. This is Jesse and Caitlin from Hickory. They won $5,000. You can too.
Before you buy,
give Mike a try.
It's 1-800-NEW-TOYOTA.
Trust isn't something that happens overnight. It requires time, dedication, loyalty, service, reliability. People's Bank has been a trusted name for over 100 years because we believe that people deserve a bank focused on being exceptional, values customer relationships, and a bank that gives back to the community. People's Bank. Same name, same bank since 1912.
Hendrick, you're searching for a truck or SUV, but actually finding what you want is really tough right now. Well, HendrickCars.com has it. Choose from thousands of pre-owned vehicles from our nationwide inventory. Shop HendrickCars.com.
Lily!
Let's get to work.
We got termites to take care of.
Swarmers. With wings. Tastes just like chicken.
We inject the treatment straight into the soil without digging, so this home stays safe and sound.
Oh no. Needs dipping sauce.
Black Pest Prevention, keeping families safe since 1940.
Call or hop on blackpest.com today.
First Alert Weather App is sponsored by Subaru South Boulevard and Subaru Concord.
We're going to be using the AC this week.
It will be used a lot. In fact, we're going to see temperatures back around 90 tomorrow, which is about average, but by Friday, mid-90s, that would be record-tying high temperatures.
And then you factor in the humidity, which we're not dealing with right now. It's pretty comfortable as you step outside. Very temporarily, we're going to see that increase. So we could feel more like the upper 90s. That is certainly a possibility as we wrap up the work week, and we'll stay mostly dry. Some scattered showers and storms possible late Wednesday night into your Thursday. Something to keep in mind. Again, we'll have that chance on Saturday. Then the cold front moves through. First alert in place on Sunday. Doesn't look like it'll be raining all day, but second half of the day definitely looking unsettled. Finally cooler by next week.
Early next week looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for being here. We're live in the 7 o'clock hour.
Come see us then. The CBS Evening News comes your way next.